2023. My name is Al Rose, and I am the state auditor's representative. I am the chair of the committee. Also present is Matt Kernett, the Attorney General's representative. He is the vice chair, and Heather Hirataka is the state archivist, also present, committee member and secretary. We have an agenda today. I'm trying to get to it here on my screen. Next item on the agenda is an introduction of the committee and staff, and I'd leave it up to the committee and staff to put their name on the record.
My name is Rachel Wilson. Oh, sorry, Russell. I'm a records consultant with the Washington State Archives at the Olympia branch.
And I am Russell Wood, State Records Manager at Washington State Archives.
Jamie Gansel, records consultant at the Olympia branch.
Scott Sackett, records consultant for Washington State Archives, located at the Central Region branch in Ellensburg.
And then we also have several individuals here. It looks like a Carmen Saint Germain and Andrea Betker, and those are probably for the updates. Okay. No response, sir.
Yeah, so this is Andrea Betker, the city of Seattle. So I'm just here to be here.
All right. Well, thank you very much. Thank you very much. All right. So the next item on the agenda is the approval of the August 2nd, 2023 minutes. Has the committee had an opportunity to review that?
Yes.
All right. Thank you. Thank you for that. Are there any questions? Hearing no questions, then a call would entertain a motion to approve the August 2nd, 2023 minutes as presented.
So moved.
Or second.
Second.
Thank you. A motion and a second to approve the minutes as presented. Any discussion? Seeing there's no request for discussion, then call the question. All those in favor of approving the August 2nd, 2023 minutes as presented signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any nays? Hearing no nays and 3 ayes, the motion to approve the August 2nd, 2023 minutes passes unanimously. Next item on the agenda is the adoption of today's agenda. Has the committee had an opportunity to see the agenda that's been presented? Okay.
Yes.
All right. Thank you. Are there any questions? Seeing there are no questions, then I would entertain a motion to approve adopt today's agenda as presented.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Thank you very much for the motion and second. Any request for discussion? Hearing no request for discussion, then we'll call the question. All those in favor of adopting today's agenda as presented signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Any nays? Hearing no nays and 3 ayes, the motion to adopt today's agenda passes unanimously. Roman numeral 2 on the agenda is Washington State Archives updates. And the first one is from the State Archivist.
Hi, good morning, everyone. Happy that you can join us this morning here on this call. We are busy here at Archives working on training for our staff, as well as going out and providing training to state and local agencies. We're excited to be back in person doing some of that. So thank you for those who have been able to attend. We're really happy to meet you and see you in person. We did have staff attend the County Auditors Recording Conference last month in Leavenworth, and we had a couple presenters talking about disaster recovery. Our own Scott Sackett was there sharing some great stories and what to do in a disaster situation, as well as a presenter on the digital archives talking about our investment in our digital archival records and electronically born records. As we know, we're going to have a big influx from everyone who was remote for so many years. So we're really making sure that we have some good infrastructure in place there. We continue to monitor the budget with the document recording fees, which are at an all-time low, a historic low, which means our budget is at a historic low. We're currently carrying 11 vacancies right now, which is about 20% of our permanent staff. So it's quite a big hurdle that we're trying to overcome, but we're being creative and being fiscally responsible and looking for ways in which we can continue to meet our statutory mandate as well as take care of our budget. So just a gentle reminder that at 11:20, there's going to be a big FEMA alert on your cell phone. So I'm just telling you in case you're on this call and everyone gets startled, just know that it's coming. Maybe we'll be done by then. So that's my report.
That is my plan, to be done by 11:20. All right, and the next one is announcements from the state records manager.
Yes, and I would just like to remind everyone that it's Archives Month for October. So we will be having various activities happening in our different locations. Those who are hanging out for a haunted tour of the Olympia building, there is not going to be one this year. But we are still happy to have people come and tour our facilities across the state. So please reach out if you're interested in bringing some of your colleagues along. That's all I have.
All right, well, thank you guys for those updates. Then under new business, Roman numeral 3 is updates to schedules affecting more than one agency. The first three are really sort of interconnected, I think. And that first one being County Clerk's Records Retention Schedule version 8.0. Is there anybody
Yes.
going to be here from County Clerks
Well,
Association?
All four are actually interconnected because
Right.
one of
Okay,
the things we've had for a long time has been a gap in the superior courts and the district and municipal courts for drug courts and therapy courts and diversion programs, and they have had to rely on a social services files series in the social services schedule. So this has been a big update to put in more appropriate series into the actual court schedules, which also resulted in separating out the county clerks and the superior courts, so that for those who are fascinated by our separation of powers, the county clerks are an executive branch,
Right.
and the rest of the courts are the judicial branch. So we have separated those out of our schedules, and we are looking to have them not need to use the social services schedule, which is why it has gone down in size, because it's been incorporated now mostly into the court schedules. I would like to put a big thank you on the record for Emily Veneman, who's with us in the archives, but did much of the early work on getting these schedules to the state they're at. And she's still with us, but in a different role now, but did quite a lot of the early work on these schedules.
All right, well, thank you. And yes, the first one under this is the County Clerk's Records Retention Schedule version 8.0. And has the committee had an opportunity to review that? Are there any questions? Is there anybody here on the meeting? Because I see that a whole bunch of more alphabet circles joined after 11 o'clock. Is anybody here regarding the County Clerk's Records Retention Schedule and its update? Okay, I don't think so. I'm hearing scratching from a phone number, but I'm not sure that they know they're not muted. All right, then. So no request for discussion. I'd entertain a motion to approve the County Clerk's Retention Schedule version 8.0 as presented.
So moved. Oh, I jumped the gun. I'll defer to our state archivist as the mover here.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
All right, there's been a motion and a second to approve the County Clerk's Records Retention Schedule version 8.0 as presented. Is there any request for discussion? Hearing no request for discussion, then call the question. All those in favor of approving the County Clerk's Records Retention Schedule version 8.0 signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Any nays? Hearing no nays and 3 ayes, the motion passes to approve the County Clerk's Records Retention Schedule version 8.0 passes unanimously. Next item on the agenda is the Superior Court's Records Retention Schedule version 1.0. So this is the first time that they've had their own schedule. Mr. Wood?
Yes, this is because they are now separated out from the county clerk's schedule.
Right, great. Okay. Are there any, so the committee has seen the proposed schedule from the Superior Court's records?
Correct.
And or is there any questions?
And no
And if
questions.
there are no questions, then I would entertain a motion to approve the Superior Court's Record Retention Schedule version 1.0 as presented.
Chair, do we want to check if there's any public comment on this particular series before we move?
Yep. I will do that. Thank you. Is there anybody here that'd like to speak about the Superior Court's record retention schedule being considered? I'll wait for a second. Sometimes it helps. I have difficulty unmuting. Okay, doesn't appear that. Thank you, Mr. Kernot, for that. And so we'll take up again the Superior Court's record retention schedule version 1.0. Or do we? Am I at the point I forgot? We're entertaining a motion to approve?
Right.
is there a motion?
I move to approve Superior Court Records Retention Schedule version 1.0.
And is there a
Second.
second? All right,
Second.
motion and a second to approve. Is there any request? Is there any request for discussion? And no request for discussion, then call the question. All those in favor of approving the Superior Court Records Retention Schedule version 1.0 as presented signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Any nays? Hearing no nays and 3 ayes, the motion to approve the Superior Court's Record Retention Schedule version 1.0 passes unanimously. The next item on the agenda is the District and Municipal Courts Record Retention Schedule version 7.0. And has the committee had an opportunity to review that as presented? All right, great. That's and is there any questions?
Do you have any questions? I
It
do see a
does-
member of the public has raised their hand.
Right. Yeah, I was just going to.
Yeah, so this is
Mis-
Andrea Betker from the city of Seattle. I just want to thank you for making the change to DM 5206E-0202 domestic violence court cases. Originally, they were permanent. Now they're 100 years. Thank you for making that adjustment.
Right, thank you. And I think someone else was, Mr. Sackett, were you unmuting, ready to say something or not?
No, I was just noting that, yeah, there was someone who had their hand raised.
All
Thank
right,
you.
thank you. Thank you very much. So any requests then for discussion from, excuse me, any questions from the group committee? No.
No questions.
All right, then I entertain a motion to approve the District and Municipal Courts Records Retention Schedule version 7.0.
So moved.
Ah,
I'll defer. I'll
defer-
second.
I-
I'll second.
I'll take the deferral this time. I so move to adopt the District and Municipal Court Records Retention Schedule version 7.0.
And I
There's been a
second.
motion and a second. Thank you for those to adopt, approve as presented. Is there any request for discussion? Hearing no request for discussion, then call the question. All those in favor of approving the District and Municipal Courts Records Retention Schedule version 7.0 as presented signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Any nays? Hearing no nays and 3 ayes, the motion to approve passes unanimously. Thank you for all your work and thank you for being here. Last item under new business, updates to schedules affecting more than one agency is the Social Services Records Retention Schedule version 2.0. Is there anybody here that is here for that that'd like to speak? Wait for a second to see if anybody unmutes. It does not look like it, but we can always get here a second. Has the committee had an opportunity to review the proposed changes? All right.
Yes.
Still doesn't look like anybody is going to wishes to speak, so we'd move on to the next, which is entertain then a motion to approve the Social Services Records Retention Schedule version 2.0 as presented.
So moved.
Second.
There's been a motion and a second to approve as presented. Is there any request for discussion? Not hearing any request for discussion, then I'll call the question. All those in favor of approving the Social Services Records Retention Schedule version 2.0 as presented signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Any nays? Hearing no nays and 3 ayes, the motion to approve passes unanimously. You're here for that. Thank you for all your work and thank you for being here. The next item on the agenda is Roman numeral 4, which is other business. Mr. Wood, do we have any other business?
No, there's no other business.
All right, thank you very much for that. Item 5, Roman numeral 5 is next meeting, which will be December 6, 2023, and I assume it's only still going to be electronic, which for a lot of people here, it makes sense because they don't have to drive all the way down to Olympia. And then item 6 on the agenda is adjournment. Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, all those in favor of adjourning the August October 4th, 2023 meeting of the Local Records Committee signify by saying aye.
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 Any nays? Hearing no nays and 3 ayes, motion to adjourn passes unanimously, and it is 11:15 a.m.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
everyone.
Thanks, everyone.